Hello again. So I've got myself an action camera. Oops, it's upside down. There it is. It's the Jeemak 4K action camera. It's quite a budget one actually. It's not very big, and that's in its case. So I'll just take it out of its case so you can see it. I'm actually really excited about using it because I've never used an action camera. There we go. There it is. Look at the size of that. Really small. Nothing too big about that one. So I suppose the first thing I want to do is just to kind of do a bit of footage, see what it's like, and take it from there. This is my new action camera, and it's a Jeemak one, and I'm just testing the settings on the recording to see what it's like. I basically need an extra camera for when I'm recording videos inside the car, because as you know from my channel, most of my videos are inside the car. And this setting at the moment is 1080p 30 frames per second, and I'm going to move on to the next one, which is going to be 60 frames per second. So this is the 1080p 60 frames per second, and just so you know, all the recordings are just done as I am. I don't think I've moved any settings apart from I've made the length of the file. I think it's 10 minutes. We can set it at 3 minutes and so on. But this one's 1080p 60 frames per second. Let's move to the next one now, which is the 2K, I think it is. So this is the next one. It's 2K resolution at 30 frames per second. It'll be interesting to see if there's a difference between the 1080p and the 2K one. I mean, it should be, but whether you will see this on the channel on YouTube, because when you upload onto there, I think they upload onto 1080p. But this one's 2K 30 frames per second. Let's move to the next one, which is 4K. It's the 4K one, which is 24 frames per second. There should be a bit more clarity in the picture, and the sound is off all of them, which is going to be the internal mic, which is what I'm going to plan to use. And what we'll do is now we'll change it round, and I'll do some recording with the car running. We're driving along the road to see if there's much interference with the outdoor noise. So this is the 4K 24 frames per second. I put the engine on, so you are going to get a bit more noise, and we'll just see what the noise is like, and I'll just turn the car around and we'll take it from there. So I've got the fans on in the car, and all I'm after is the picture quality and what it sounds like, because when I'm recording the car normally, I'm going to get this sort of noise anyway. So all I want to do is see what it's like, see if there's a big difference, because it's an extra camera angle that I'm after. So I'll just do a left into here. That's it. That's the idea. And obviously today's a bit of a bright day. And this is speed bump there, bouncing around. Just so you know, the anti-shaking, that's what I have turned on, the anti-shaking section. So I'm hoping as I go over the speed bump, it's not too bouncy. You know, the camera's not bouncing around too much. I'm not worried that the camera might not be as straight as it could be, because I'm just testing whatever's the best for when I can do the footage. So I'll just pull over here, and we'll change it down to 2K. At the moment, I'm using the 2K resolution at 30 frames per second, and the engine's running, so I'm going to get a bit of noise. So I'll just see what things are like, so I can get the right setting for what I need it for, which is to be using inside the car. And same as before, the anti-shaking on, so I'm going to have some big speed bumps there, so we'll see what it's like. And the next setting, I'll use 1080p 60 frames per second when I pull over in a few seconds. So they're not going to be massive videos I'm doing. I'm just trying to get the right settings for me. I'm going to pull over when it's safe, and then we'll change it around from then. So at the moment, this one is 2K. I'll just pull over just past this car, I think. So it'll be interesting when I look back on this if there's lots of noise from the car. So this one here is 1080p 60 frames per second, so the engine's running again, and like I say, I'm just after what's the right setting for me for when I'm recording inside the car. So it'll be interesting when I actually put all these together to see if there's a big difference in the clarity of the film, and whether the volume is pretty good, because like I say, I do stories about the internal max not that good and so on, but we'll see what happens. So I'm just driving along the road, and I'm going to pull over in a few seconds, because I don't need massive videos to know what's good and what's not good. I'm going to pull over on the left here. So this setting here is 1080p 30 frames per second with the engine running and driving along. So I keep repeating it again, so forgive me if it sounds like I'm repeating everything, but it's just really to give me an idea. And also, if you're watching this video and you think actually that's a pretty good idea, that to work out what's good, what's not so good with the footage, and what works, what doesn't work, because when I review all this, I'll have an idea what's the best setting for me for the camera, what's the volume like, what's it like while the engine's turned off, what's it like when the engine's turned on, if it makes a massive difference. Tight spot here with the bus, not much space there. And if anyone was curious about how this is held onto the window, when I got the action camera, there's lots and lots of extras, which I'll show you about later on what they are. So it's got like a little mount to actually hold the camera in. All I've got is a suction mount, which is something that I've already got previous to this, which fitted it, which is quite nice. So I'm just going to pull over on the left, and then I think what we'll do then is we'll have the camera on the outside. Now, to have the camera on the outside, if people was wondering, there's two ways you can do it. You can keep it as it is with the internal mount, and I suppose that they like today it's not too bad, but they also provide a waterproof, like a plastic casing. I'm going to put it on that, so there's going to be lots of interference, which is what sort of thing you're going to use when you're outside, but it'll be interesting. So I'll get it set up for the outside and do a little bit of a recording outside, see what it's like, and just see what it looks like outside. So this is attached to the outside of the car on the bonnet. So and you're going to the engine, and there's a rattle from the bonnet there actually. That's obviously you can't hear from inside the car, and it's just give you an idea what the sound's going to be like on the outside. We're recorded in 1080p 30 frames per second, so you're going to get the wind, you're going to get a little bit of gentle vibration from the plastic case, which you can see in the top corner of the unboxing what's going on. It comes with all sorts of accessories. So you got the plastic case, which will take you to 30 meters depth underwater if you need to, so you can film on the outside in the rain. And you got obviously the book there, and there's if you redeem a gift by leaving a review, you can get a choice of free gifts, which will be a charging port with charging batteries, a micro SD card, or you can also get a tripod, selfie stick, and a waterproof case. And you can see there's lots of accessories, which you'll see in a few seconds. I've used some accessories for the inside of the car and the outside of the car. You can use them for belt buckles, for your helmet, bike helmet, for your attachments to your bike. I suppose whatever you think you might need it for. There's another picture of the accessories here, and like I say, you can hear the noise of the mic picking up all sorts of stuff outside. So it's quite a good mic. As we come to the end of here, we'll switch it to the 1080p 60 frames per second. This is what's coming up now, and I've turned the mic down and put a bit of gentle music on, so that you can just focus on the video footage at this point going forward. So at the moment, I say 60 frames per second. This one is there, and the camera, you can get up to 4K on it, which you'll see as it goes further along the footages. And you can use Wi-Fi, so there's an app you can download, which I've not used. I tended to use just to pop the micro SD card out and pop it in the computer.
and there's a WDR, which is for wide dynamic range. There's lots of functions on the camera which you can use. It's got a wide angle lens which is 170 degrees, and the camera is 20 megapixels, so it's quite a good camera attached to it at the same time. And like I see previously, you see I had it inside the car, recording footage, so there's lots of little footage on this video I've done here. And then this next footage is 2K, and then the one after this is 4K. So enjoy the music, and if you want to check out the camera, I'll leave a link in the description for you, and take care.